Hello, welcome to the Black Salt Mirror. We are going to talk today about movement, particularly when you get to a point where you realize that you're finally getting what you want. And you have the strong urge to pull forward and just run into the things that you want. But there is a very important part of slowness that you need to observe here. As sneakiness, they're saying. I have the Knight of Pentacles, and below that is the Seven of Swords. So it's kind of like putting your hand in your pocket and whistling while you just wander by the enemy guards, or whatever your genre is. And they're saying, this is death with a white horse, as always. And for a long time, it made you feel like you were doing this and you were unseen, completely shut off. You see the hood on death. A lot of things have changed with the shifts that have been happening. And there was a time that you're still in a way. But prior to now, it felt like the hiding that you were doing was hiding who you were. Like going about life, waiting to fully embody your energy and your purpose here was dimming the light of your integral character, and you couldn't actually ever have genuine relationships because nobody could see you fully, because no one could understand you, because you're hidden. And it felt at that time like who you were as a person was hidden, not just your talents or this gift that you have, but like people couldn't see you, as though you were physically shrouded. And what this resulted in, we've got the Page of Cups in reverse, is a stifling of the child side. The youthfulness, the creativity, the whimsy in particular comes strongly here. And the bottom of the deck over here is the Seven of Wands in reverse. It made you feel very, Empress in reverse is below it, and the Hanged Man. It made you feel like you were in a place of stasis and you had your back up against the wall. And you had to fight some unknown source of danger that you couldn't see and that hadn't arrived yet. So you were just kind of standing in the dark waiting for something to happen, but you had to stay vigilant at all times to be ready for when it came. And that's the energy that this is giving for what it was like and where you are now, because this has changed. So I'm gonna pull some more cards for the current energy, and something immediately, the Empress upright, falls into my lap. You have fully embodied this new phase. There was something that flipped over. As I shuffled, it was the Four of Wands, also upright. This is a time of great celebration. Probably not that you actually want to throw a party, but more so because you are actually at the place of peace. There are two doves up here above this, and there was some kind of bird up above Death's head, which when I first saw it, I thought was a dove. It's probably not, given the death imagery. Oh, there's a little tiny scorpion. I don't know if you can see that down here. animals are significant. They're all popping out to me now. There's a fish here. The knight is sitting on a black horse. I don't see anything in this one. There's usually a cat in the Seven of Swords. At least in my mind, there it is. The Hanged Man on the bottom again. Now is a different time, and you're gonna start hearing that a lot from me, from other sources. The Nine of Pentacles, and reverse is flipped over. You've been living in a place of lack, both the lack mindset and physical lack, because you had too many doors of opportunity closed off for you because you were being hidden in a number of ways, which manifested physically as well. Like you couldn't maintain a job for a terribly long period of time because you couldn't shine. Your managers would frequently feel threatened by you, or there'd always be chaos that came with the job and just develops like every time. When you leave jobs, frequently the people that were there would leave too. Like at some point in time, you probably looked at your resume and you're like, I have nobody from any of my previous jobs where somebody could call and talk to them and say how I was, because everybody's gone. Everybody leaves after me or moves after me or something. It's kind of like you're not a T-Rex, or Godzilla, I guess, is the big reptile that goes around kicking down buildings, and you just like kind of kicking down chaotic constructs, which is good because the chaos needs to be kicked down so that it can be reconstructed in a more solid and productive fashion. And it's kind of like it was built funny and leaning, and it wasn't structurally sound. So when you come in and you destroy it, which is very Scorpionic energy, most people in this collective will have some heavy Scorpio, which is the Death card, because that's what Scorpio does. Aquarius also is part of this because Aquarius builds on structures of the past, but they're the rebels, they're the revolutionaries. So you could have both of those in your chart. You could have a connection to them somehow, but you were built for this time, not for the time past. So you were always going to feel weird and out of place, and you were never going to get your feet on the ground because you couldn't shine, is what they're saying. You could never stand out. You could never be noticed because it wasn't your time. And it's kind of like sleeper cells. Like they can't know you're there until you all start working together. And then they'll see you, but they'll see all of you. So it's not just you shining, it's the collective. So you all had to like sneak around and get in place and be really slow, but not be too sneaky about it because you didn't want them to see you sneaking. So you had to look like you were all nonchalant, and it's like all a whole lot of effort just to like walk around in life. And this one's really hitting me strong. And the way that I set it down is on top of the Death card. This is over now. This is the lack that you've been living in. This is the extreme struggle just to like be normal in a daily life and have the things that everyone else has, just like a job and a car and weekend activities. And like, why does everything go to shit all the time? Like, why are relationships so complicated? And it's like you were living in this different world from everyone else. Like, did you guys all get the cheat codes? Because nobody told me the cheat codes, and I'm really struggling here. And it looks like you all are you just know how to go out and interact with people, and it works for you. And like, I'm not experiencing that. And I'm sure you thought these thoughts and you talk to other people, and sometimes you'll connect with other people because people in the right vibration, you can find each other and you can see it in each other's eyes, but you can never stay in contact with those people. You all kind of hook up, remind each other that this is an experience that people have, and then you drift away, and then you don't see those people again. You're like, I remember them. I know they're out there. I don't get to have a community with them, but I know they're out there. Let's see. King of Swords on the bottom. Your communication was stifled. What does he have here? Some kind of hawk thing and what looks like butterflies. Swords are about communication, and the King of Swords is going to be the most efficient communicator and thinker. And he's got his feet in the clouds, but that's because he's above them. And on the bottom of the deck in reverse, it's basically saying you never felt like you had a voice. And the Queen of Cups below that, it really hurts. And the Hermit, and you effectively were forced into hiding. When you have no voice and you don't feel like you're being heard, it's going to ramp up your emotions, because a large part of the way humans process emotions is by communicating them to other people, is by talking them out, is by sharing them, is by mirroring. And we actually do something subconsciously when we're talking to each other. We will mirror the facial expressions. If someone's sad, we'll make a sad face. And so there's this kind of common faces that people make, like a commiserating face. It's just a reflection of a sad face that the person who's sad is making, because that's how humans have evolved to interact with each other, is to connect emotionally and mirror, because we are a society that relies upon each other, right? Humans don't isolate well. In fact, they have a lot of symptoms psychologically if they isolate too much. Isolation is generally a bad thing because we're a social animal, and we've evolved for a very long time like that. So we need each other. We need to feel those connections. We need to feel like we're part of a community. We need to feel like people see us and value us, and we have a part in this community. So when you don't have this and you see it around you and you feel this great need to be with people, except none of the people you see are the right kind of people, it's a bit crazy making. And the only thing that has sustained you is your divine guidance, that you know you're here for something, and that time is going to come, and then you're not going to be weird anymore. And that time is now. And now you are the Empress. You are the birth of something new. The Empress is frequently depicted as pregnant in her illustrations. This one, she's holding an orb and a scepter, because she's carrying gifts. Everyone in this collective has gifts to share, and they all fit together, and they all work in tandem and in unison. But it's very much about birthing something beautiful. The Empress is represented by Venus, the planet of beauty. So you are bringing forth these gifts now, and now you are allowed to come out. And it's really hard for this collective. So they're trying to inundate you with these messages, like, it's okay now, you can come out now, you don't have to keep doing this anymore. The threat has passed. The collective can stand up now and shine. And that's what they're trying to tell you, to shine, to be yourself. You have had so many experiences in your life that told you not to do that, that showed you that didn't work, or that it went sideways. It actually was your detriment. And there are traumas and scars from that you've experienced. However, they had to put you in a situation, they're saying, where you could be at full power, but go completely unnoticed. And there isn't a good way to balance that without a feeling of discord. Because if you weren't powerful enough, you would go unnoticed, but you wouldn't be able to shine when the time came. If you're too powerful and not hidden, you'd be noticed too early. So it's kind of like you have to have full blast, shining, and then put something over it where you can't see it, which creates a tension and a pressure and a discomfort of keeping something too big for its container, confined, as it struggles to express itself. And like if you balled up and tried to get inside of a suitcase, you wouldn't fit very well. It'd be very uncomfortable. And you know in your heart that that's not the natural position that you're supposed to be in. And energetically, it was the same way. That was not the natural expression of your energy. But the time has come now, and it's a celebratory time. This card is very positive. It frequently means a wedding or some kind of harvest. It's meant to represent a whole town celebrating together. And you now can make friends in this community, and you can keep them, and you can stay in touch with them, and they're not just gonna like drift away and disappear like nobody remembered them and you're in the Twilight Zone. Because now it's safe, and now you can have these people, and now you have to come out and shine your gifts, because we all have to work together. That's good for now. I love you, and I'll see you next time.